We were talking in the break about like the contract and whether that's, like I said earlier, that's a deal I would have been very happy with to see the Sabres sign him to. He signs in Salt Lake City, Utah. He doesn't go to a big market at all. He goes to a team where it's even really hard to argue, like, if the winning part of it is what really matters to you, I'm not saying they are worse off than the Sabres for this in, like, a belief of winning from a player. But they didn't make the playoffs last year. They were fine. They had 89 points. The Utah did last year. 89 points. But you didn't go to Florida or Tampa. You know, you didn't go to some perennial winner. You went to a team that was bad when they were in Arizona, and then they moved, and then they were pretty good, but they weren't a playoff team. So you didn't go to a perennial winner. You didn't go to a big market or you didn't go to a big city. Was it? How much of it was about the money?
I think a lot of it was. I believe that if the Sabres had offered this contract to J.J. Peterka, he'd be a Buffalo Sabre today. That's what I believe. I don't know that. And to me, that means that Kevin Adams just didn't feel that was the value for this player.
And if that is true, man, that would I would have a lot of feelings about that are not positive. I mean,
or he could feel, no, I could have offered him that, but I don't want a guy who just doesn't want to be here. Mm-hmm. As we listen to him talk, the way he talks, and said, look, I could pay him that.
Just for the money?
But I'm not. I do think it's a very, very telling quote from the press conference the other day. He said, we could play it. I think, do you have it there? Could you play that, Josh? Could you play the quote? He said something about paying a player and it's not always going to make a player happy or something like that. Do you have that? Let's play this right here. All right? Josh is going to fire it up here. Here we go.
Paying someone more money, hoping that they'll make them happy, isn't usually a recipe for success. You know, you have to have players that buy into and believe what you're doing and wake up every day in Buffalo excited to be a Sabre. I think that's important. In saying that, are there hard conversations with times? Are players at times frustrated?
I think it's important to note here, to me, like, I guess I should say, I think what he's saying is, I could pay J.J. Peterka what he wants, and he'll sign it. I don't think that helps our team because he's not going to be happy here, and we're dealing with this.
Man,
And I'm not telling you it's the right approach.
No,
I think it's his approach.
I think he's got the wrong approach if that's the case. You are Buffalo. You are the Buffalo Sabres. Come on, man. Even if that were true, you only have so many avenues to get talented players and to keep talented players. And there would be a lot of players that wouldn't even take your money.